And we've been asking everyone today, who do you believe? These stories about how, Charles has been briefing against his sons, William briefing against, Harry and Meghan briefing against. Who do you believe?
I think we've known for quite a long time, actually, that members of the royal family have briefed against each other for years. That has been the status quo. I think in Endgame, we aren't really learning anything too new, as it were. We've had a lot of these things in Spare, a lot of these things in previous royal biographies as well, or books about the royal family, I should say. And in Endgame, we're getting kind of an expansion and a bit more detail on these things that we kind of already know, that there's been briefing against each other in the royal family, and that has been something that's happened through comms teams, for quite a long time. So I think it's not necessarily a case of, do we believe what's in this book against what's in another book? It's an expansion of things that have already been in the public domain for actually quite a while.
And the funny thing is, we're often told, there's never, royals never complain, never explain, and the Queen won't do that. But actually, we know that senior royals have been doing that. Look, we had Diana with her book with Andrew Morton. That was all the cassette tapes that she'd given him. We know with the exclusive that Prince Charles, as he was then, gave to Jonathan Dimbleby about how, yes, he had an affair with Camilla. And all these other things that come out from royal sources, they're briefed out. They know what they're doing. So it's a complete myth that Harry and Meghan are making all these claims, and the royal family who are left in Buckingham are just completely and utterly unable to speak for themselves. They are able to speak for themselves. The only trouble is anything that's on the record, you're into that situation, well, you denied that on the record. Remember the Queen, of course, famously saying, recollections may vary about some comments that Meghan made on her interview with Oprah Winfrey. But then if you don't deny the next thing, people go, well, you didn't deny that. That means that one must be true. So I can see why they are kind of in a non-stop roller coaster of, like, every time there's a claim, if you deny or stay quiet, you kind of push it forward.
And you're absolutely right about that, Julie. You're absolutely right in saying that, the royal family, behind closed doors, if you will, or through sources, through courtiers, through comm teams, will always have a response, whether it's an official response or an unofficial response. And it's always going to be an unofficial response. You never get, or very rarely get, a statement from Kensington Palace, Buckingham Palace, against any claims.
Yeah.
But you always will get like a leaked source saying, oh, Prince William's upset about this, or Princess Catherine's upset about this. And you're absolutely right. They are stuck in this cycle of repeatedly commenting and briefing against unofficially, and it's what you choose to reply to. What are they going to say about Endgame? Officially nothing, but of course we have had courtiers on Prince William's side saying that he's upset about the text messages, for instance, or the non-text messages, as it were, that happened when the Queen died, that Prince Harry was texting Prince William and he wasn't replying. They're furious that that's come out, and that's what's going to happen over the next few days,
but we're going to see,
in fact.
Exactly, we're going to see more of it. I think the thing most people are really angry about is this idea that Prince Harry saying, my privacy's been invaded, then happily invaded his own privacy with his own book and with his own documentary on Netflix, and then has happily invaded it with more revelations of the most intimate details between family members that you would never normally, you wouldn't tell people down the pub, let alone tell the entire world's media.